we've been documenting the misreporting of COVID test results, in Florida, in hospitals and labs there. Sadly, this turns out to be a kind of COVID misfire that isn't just confined to the Sunshine State, because not long ago, Virginia was also caught double counting the number of COVID positive residents. Now, in May, the state finally had to fess up. Joe Masenka, a spokesman for Virginia's COVID-19 Joint Information Command, said that repeat positive cases are counted as separate cases only if the tests occur on different days. If a Virginia resident tested Monday and Tuesday and both are positive, that's two positives. What? My next guest found out something interesting going on with the COVID stats in one county in Ohio, and he joins me now. Phil Kerpen has been on this better than almost anyone out there. He's president of the committee to Unleash Prosperity. Phil, this is ridiculous, counting the same person multiple times if they keep testing positive over a 2-week or month period. But what's going on with what you're looking at in Ohio?
Yeah, this was really interesting. This was actually a Twitter exchange I saw earlier today. Someone said, look, the numbers in Ohio are crazy. I have a parent who they won't let out of the hospital until we get a negative test, and they keep testing and testing and testing, and it's going in the case count every time, and it's been 10 or 15 times. And then another Twitter user named Kyle Lamb, who's been a really good researcher on this stuff, pulled up the Ohio case file and found the exact person she was talking about, who was listed as 15 cases, who was listed as someone of unknown gender in Mahoning County, age 80 plus, symptom onset May 25th, 15 cases, and it was added up into the state count as 15 cases.
Now, a friend of mine's mom was 92 who keeps testing positive. She has no symptoms. She told me the same thing, that every time she tests, it's counted as a separate case, but you've actually now documented it. All right, El Paso County in Texas is seeing an explosion of new cases, Phil, and this might be one reason why.
It seems there's still maybe some confusion on the number of people that are tested. There are individuals that are tested multiple times, especially if they get a positive test, from what I understand. You're not counting somebody twice, are you?
We do if they are tested more than once, but that number is very, very small.
Do you believe that number is very small, Phil? And what kind? I mean, they just say this like it's no big deal.
Well, you know, I think that that number might have been small a couple of months ago when we had a severe testing shortage. We now have a severe testing surplus. There are tests everywhere. We have this huge discontinuity in the data around June 10th, where you can just see the number of positives and the number of tests take off everywhere in the country. And, you know, states were told to do this. The panic purveyor said, you have to test everyone. Mass testing is the greatest. Then we start seeing these huge numbers of tests, including huge numbers of positives. And then it's, oh, my God, panic, shut everything down again based on those numbers. But a lot of the tests are repeat tests. A lot of the tests are, as you alluded to in the open, like Florida, lots of other states are reporting positives only and not negatives. A lot of employment-based testings, they come in, test everyone. The positives have to be reported to the state. The negatives, no one pops negative, they don't report it. So the data is a big mess, and it's really unfortunate because we have had a real rise in some places, much more modest than the big peak we saw a couple months ago. But it's very hard to differentiate that and understand how serious it actually is when you have this sea of bad data that we now have as a result of this hyper-testing.
Yeah, in 15 seconds, the hospitals now are required to directly report their data to HHS, not to CDC. How significant on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, we'll have to see how well HHS does, but I give it about at least a 7 or 8 because CDC's been atrocious. They've been so bad that most people are using a website from the Atlantic magazine to track national statistics instead of using the CDC website, which is pretty telling. And so I don't think they could be worse. Let me put it that way, Laura.
All right, Phil. Great seeing you.